All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. And today we are tackling those pesky marketing silos.
Oh, the silos.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
SEO over here, content marketing over there, PPC doing its own thing.
In their own little worlds.
Exactly. And we're going to deep dive into an article that suggests that SEO might actually be the key to bringing everyone together.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? It's like these companies build these very elaborate departments,
Right.
but they forget to map it to how a customer actually interacts with the brand.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's not like a customer wakes up in the morning and says, I'm only going to interact with the SEO today.
Right, or I'm going to make sure I stay in my lane with the PPC.
Exactly.
Hope I don't run into any content today. But yeah, it's this idea that customers experience a brand holistically across all these different touch points. They don't experience it in these neat little boxes that we tend to create internally.
So then, okay, silos are out. We get that. That's kind of obvious. But why SEO? Why is that the solution?
So I think a good way to think about it is a good SEO specialist isn't just an SEO specialist.
Okay.
They're swimming in data. They understand what makes people tick online, and they have to be pretty darn good writers to boot. And let's not forget the technical know-how when it comes to websites.
Yeah.
So they've got their fingers in a lot of different pots.
It's almost like instead of SEO being this isolated department, it's almost like it has all these threads connecting it outward.
Precisely. And that's actually the argument that this article makes, is that because SEO pros have this kind of diverse skill set, they're actually in a prime position to kind of bridge those gaps.
Okay, so where do we even begin? You've piqued my interest.
Data?
Okay.
SEO teams are sitting on a treasure trove of customer insights.
Oh.
And I'm not just talking about SEO metrics here. I'm talking about like keyword research. It tells you exactly what your audience is searching for, what questions they're asking, what's keeping them up at night.
See, and that right there, that's not just valuable for the SEO team, that's valuable for any team.
For sure.
I'm imagining like the paid media team, like being able to hyper-target with that information, what kind of ad campaigns they could put out there.
Absolutely. Or think about competitor analysis.
Okay.
SEO teams are constantly analyzing who's ranking for what kind of content is performing well, what gaps exist.
Right.
That's pure gold for content marketers. Trying to figure out, okay, how do we craft a strategy? How do we create content that's actually going to perform well?
So it's like we already have the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
You're already looking at what's working, what's not.
Exactly.
And where those opportunities are, all from this SEO perspective.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The article spends a good chunk of time on copywriting.
Okay.
Specifically SEO copywriting.
Okay, you're speaking my language now. But haven't we moved past like the days of keyword stuffing and like really clunky sentences?
Those days are long gone. Google is much smarter than that.
Right.
And so SEO content today has to be genuinely good writing.
Yeah.
It has to be engaging. It has to be informative. It has to be valuable.
For an actual human to read?
And that's a skill set that every single department can benefit from.
So are we talking SEO teams are now going to be like writing coaches for everybody?
Not necessarily writing coaches, but I think it's about cross-team training.
Okay.
It's about knowledge sharing.
Okay.
SEO teams can offer valuable insights on how to optimize your website copy, how to make sure that it's resonating both with search engines and with actual human beings.
So better content, better visibility.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
Okay, this is all starting to tie together for me, I gotta say.
And it's a two-way street.
Oh, really?
You know, SEO teams can learn a thing or two from other departments as well.
Okay.
Take the paid media folks, for instance.
Okay.
They are masters at crafting those very concise, impactful ad copy that converts like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like they know how to write words that make people pull out their wallets.
And you know what? Now that you mention it, they could probably teach SEO a thing or two about writing really strong meta descriptions.
Yes.
Because that's essentially what that is, right?
Wait,
an ad.
It's a mini ad for your website.
Exactly. Oh, my God. It's all coming together.
It's all connected.
I love it.
It's not just about the words on the page, though, right?
Right.
We also got to talk about the technical side of things.
Okay.
Specifically technical SEO.
Yeah, the behind-the-scenes stuff. I mean, that's important, too. But to be honest, it's always been a little bit of a mystery to me.
Yeah, it can seem like its own language.
Right.
But here's the thing. Technical SEO is really the foundation for everything else.
Okay.
If your website is a well-oiled machine, search engines are going to love it. Users are going to have a better experience.
Yeah.
Think of it like a house. You can have the most amazing interior design, but if the foundation is crumbling,
Right.
no one's going to enjoy living there for very long.
So you're saying even if we have like the best content, the best marketing campaigns, if the technical SEO is not there, it could all fall apart.
Exactly. And this is where we often see those misunderstandings between, let's say, SEO pros and web developers.
Okay.
The SEO is saying, we need to improve site speed. We need to fix these broken links. And the developers are thinking, why? The website looks fine to me.
Right. It's like two different languages.
Exactly. So bridging that gap is so crucial.
Okay.
SEO pros need to be able to translate those recommendations into plain English.
Yeah.
Clearly explain the why behind the what.
And then on the flip side, the developers need to be receptive to that feedback, even if they don't fully grasp all of it.
It's about building that trust and working as a team.
Yeah.
And when both sides are on board, you get a website that's not only visually appealing, easy to use, but it's also optimized for search engines, which benefits everyone.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Exactly.
But we can't forget about user experience.
Oh, absolutely.
UX, that's a whole other
Huge part of it.
huge part of this whole equation.
The article actually made a point of highlighting the symbiotic relationship between SEO and UX.
Okay.
Because a website that's difficult to navigate or frustrating to use is going to have a hard time ranking well,
Right.
no matter how much technical wizardry you throw at it.
So good SEO is inherently user-friendly SEO.
You got it. At the end of the day, it's all about the customer.
Okay.
And that brings us to another area where I think SEO can really shake things up.
Okay.
Digital PR.
Oh, now we're talking. Because PR always seemed like this separate, mysterious entity to me.
I hear that a lot.
Like, how do you even measure the success of that?
Right. It's a common misconception.
Yeah.
This article did a great job of challenging that outdated view of digital PR as just link building.
Okay.
Sure, links are still important for SEO,
Right.
but digital PR in 2024 is so much broader than that.
So what does it look like now in 2024?
Think content creation, influencer collaborations, social media engagement. It's about building brand authority and buzz across the entire online landscape.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But how does SEO fit into this new world of digital PR?
Well, remember how we were talking about how SEO specialists need to be good writers?
Right.
And how they're constantly analyzing trends and what's resonating with audiences online? Those skills are pure gold for digital PR.
So they can use those skills to then craft really shareable content to find the right influencers to partner with,
Now you're getting it.
to amplify those efforts.
And the article even had this great anecdote about a pet insurance company that really leaned into this whole idea.
Oh, I love a good story. Tell me more.
So there was this trend online of people dyeing their dog's fur crazy colors.
Wait, really?
Yes. Pink, blue, green, you name it.
People are dyeing their dog's fur
It was everywhere on social media.
with like actual hair dye?
Well, I'm assuming pet safe dyes.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a whole thing, and most brands probably would have just ignored it.
Right.
But this pet insurance company saw an opportunity.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. What did they do?
Instead of shying away from it, they created a whole campaign around it. They talked about the potential risks of certain dyes, how to make sure you're doing it safely, even partnered with some groomers who specialize in pet safe dyes.
Wow.
It was brilliant.
That's amazing.
Right.
They took something that was already generating buzz
Yeah.
and they found a way to make it relevant.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's a perfect example of how all these different marketing disciplines, social media, PR, even SEO, can work together to create something truly impactful.
I'm starting to think these marketing silos aren't just walls. They're like noise-canceling walls.
It's true.
Like, we're missing out on so much just because we can't hear what's going on over there.
Yeah, and I think this is where that silo mentality can really trip us up when we
Right.
start talking about data analysis.
So data.
Right, because,
Double-edged sword.
well, we are drowning in it these days.
Yes, we are.
But making sense of it all, connecting the dots.
Right.
That's a whole other challenge. And this is where breaking down those silos becomes absolutely critical.
Okay.
The article really emphasized the importance of aligning data across all your teams.
Okay.
Imagine if everyone from SEO to paid media to content marketing was looking at the same customer journey,
Oh, wow.
the same set of metrics.
So instead of having like these little data silos, we're kind of like Now we have this unified view
Exactly.
of how people are actually like moving through.
It changes the game.
Yeah.
Because instead of just asking like, oh, how many conversions did this one social media post drive?
Right.
You start to see how every single touch point is contributing to that bigger picture.
And it's got to help with attribution too, right?
Exactly.
Because then you're not giving all the credit to that last click.
Right.
You're actually like, no, hold on. This person actually like 6 months ago read this blog post, and that was kind of the thing that tipped them over.
Exactly. You might discover that a blog post from a year ago played a key role in a recent surge in sales.
Right.
Even if it didn't directly lead to any conversions at the time.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, so this is all starting to make a lot of sense. But I have to ask, with all this talk about data and metrics, are we losing sight of the human element here?
That's a great question.
Because at the end of the day, marketing is about connecting with people, right?
You're absolutely right. And the article actually addressed this directly.
Okay.
It emphasized that not every single marketing activity needs to have a directly measurable ROI. Sometimes it's about building brand awareness. It's about fostering trust. It's about planting those seeds that might blossom into a sale down the line.
People buy from people.
Exactly.
I mean, you might click that ad because you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But you buy from the brand that you feel like, oh, I trust these guys.
Exactly. And those connections often start with smaller interactions.
Yeah.
Like on social media, a visit to your blog,
Wow.
a helpful email newsletter.
Right.
These might not translate to immediate sales,
Right.
but they're all part of the bigger picture.
It's the long game.
Exactly. And that brings us to what I think is the article's most important takeaway.
Okay.
Every marketer, regardless of their specific role or department, needs to be a champion for the customer.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, instead of being like, I'm the SEO champion, it's like, no, we're all here for the customer.
We're all here to serve the customer.
Great.
And the article used this great analogy of a relay race.
So,
Each marketing channel is responsible for carrying the baton, the customer, for a short period of time,
right.
and then passing it off smoothly to the next.
And it only works if you're all running in the same direction.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're going to drop that baton.
When SEO content, paid media, social PR,
Yeah.
when all these different disciplines are working together in harmony,
Yeah.
that's when you create this seamless, positive experience for the customer.
So it's not about like one team being the hero.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're all in this together.
Exactly.
This is how you win the marathon.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
And the best part is this isn't some far-fetched idea, right? The article ends with this very simple, actionable challenge.
Cool.
If you haven't shared your knowledge with another department in the past 6 weeks, it's time for a lunch and learn.
I love it.
Right.
Like, so simple.
Grab someone from another team, share a meal, swap some marketing secrets.
Who knows what you might learn?
Exactly. And when we break down those silos, not only do our marketing efforts become more effective, but we also grow as individual marketers.
Yeah.
And who knows, we might even discover that the folks in those other departments aren't so different after all.
That's right. We're all just humans trying to do our best work, right?
Exactly.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another deep dive successfully navigated.
We did it.
If this episode has inspired you to build bridges within your own organization, we'd love to hear about it. Until next time, happy collaborating.